Welcome to the first season of Ancient Anecdotes powered by Listen Cup. This is your host, Ramanathan Iyer.
And this is Lalita Ramanathan.
Lalita ma, why are you roaming around the house? It is 8 a.m. in the morning. Your school bus will leave soon.
Appa, I was going to arrange the books on the shelf.
Really, Kuti? Arranging the books is a noble deed, no doubt. But now you have literally 15 minutes to catch the bus. You can arrange the books in the evening also, right? Come, let's go.
Not yet. I have to do my sadhana. Let me quickly do my sadhana and then leave for school.
Hey, go to school now and come back in the evening and do your practices properly and slowly. You remind me of Avvayaar party, Lalitama. You know what she did? She spent her time singing in praises of the Lord all over the countryside. But when she was actually called to reach the divine feet of Lord Shiva, she said, I will quickly complete my puja and come.
Okay, Pa. I will come back and do it properly. But what is this new thing about Avvayaar party you are referring to? You can't start something like this and keep me in suspense.
Come back from school, Lalitama. We will speak about it.
Appa? Okay, fine. Bye, Pa. Appa.
Hello, Kutima. How was your day?
It was all fine. Now tell me about the Avvayaar.
Hey, tell me the truth. Did you listen to anything at all in school today? Or were you only thinking about the story?
Appa, don't scold me, okay? I was thinking all along about the story. You just built up this suspense and I couldn't concentrate on anything else. Now tell no.
See, whatever be the circumstance, one must always concentrate in class. Story or not. What you should think? You should think, let me give my 100% in class. And then when I go home, Appa will be having something nice to tell me. This is the point I'm trying to get across. Not to daydream throughout the class and miss the critical learning. Okay? Now do we have a deal? You must pay attention at school at all times during your classes.
Promise.
See, Avvayaar party also made two important points about studying and studies. Yen எழுத்து இகழேல், meaning respect what you learn in the form of reading, writing and arithmetic, and at no point despise learning. And ஓதுவது ஒழியேல், meaning one must never stop learning.
Are these lines from something Avvayaar party has written?
Yes, these are from Avvai's work called as the Aathichudi. This amazing composition is used to teach the Tamil alphabet to small children through all the ages. All lines are arranged in alphabetical order of the Tamil language. Every line will have a word that starts with that appropriate letter. Not only that, each line is a moral and an ethical instruction. Pure genius, don't you think?
Yes, Pa.
Did you know Avvayaar party was actually a very young old woman?
Huh? How can she be both young and old, Pa?
Avvai party, from a very young age, always spent her time with God, devotion and travel. At an age when people would want their youth to last forever, legend has it that Avvai had asked Lord Ganesha to bless her with virtue and old age. Since she was always traveling, Avvai used her keen intelligence to ask for old age. She would then use this old age as a protection for her extensive travels. As a single woman, she felt this was required. This was why she was both young and old.
When was this, Pa?
Actually, there have been many brilliant poetesses with the name Avvayaar. One such Avvayaar lived during the first Sangam era, that is, 1st and 2nd century CE. Another Avvayaar during the greater Chola period of 8th century CE, and yet another Avvayaar has been recorded to have lived in the 12th century CE as well. Each of these poetesses have had miraculous stories associated with their births. We are talking about the Avvayaar born in the 8th century. There are going to be some interesting names and mentions, but don't get spaced out, okay?
Okay, Pa.
Let's first talk about an interesting story relating to our Avvayaar's birth. It is still unclear from our research as to who exactly Avvayaar's parents were, especially since there are multiple versions. But a lovely book by R. Vishwanathan recounts how she was born in a place called Tagadur in current-day Nanjangud Taluk of Mysore in Karnataka. She is said to have been born to Yali Dattan. For some reason, Yali Dattan and his wife were unable to rear the young girl and had to abandon her. It is said that Avvai's mother was unable to bear leaving behind her just born baby. But the legend says, even at that nascent age, the baby Avvai, instead of bursting into tears, composes a memorable poem. இட்டமுடன் என் தலையில் இன்னபடி என்றெழுதிவிட்ட சிவனும் செத்து விட்டானோ முட்ட முட்ட பஞ்சமே ஆனாலும் பாரம் அவனுக்கண்ணாய் நெஞ்சமே அஞ்சாதே நீ. My Lord Shiva, who guides the course of my life, is ever watchful. He remains my safeguard. No matter the intensity of the famine, he ensures the well-being of all his creations. O Mother, please proceed without fear.
A young baby, is it? Such a miracle, Pa.
Yes, the hymn is in a rare 7-step meter known as the iambic meter, and even experienced poets struggle to get the footing right on the syllables. Based on the earliest records, after her parents left, Avvaiyar was raised by a group of singers and dancers belonging to the Banar race. From an early age, Avvai is said to have chosen knowledge over her worldly pursuits. Avvaiyar stepped away from the security of her home and journeyed extensively through the Palmyra-covered Tamil kingdoms of the Cholas, Pandyas and the Cheras. She lived a modest life. Her compositions were very spontaneous and apt to the situations life presented her with. Her vast array of literary and philosophical writings catered both to the young and to the old, and they embrace all facets of human existence and showcase her deep wisdom. Are you still with me?
Yes, Pa.
Do you know why it is important for children to learn about Avvaiyar Party?
Why, Pa?
In Tamil Nadu, Lord Ganesha is referred to as Vinayagar. Avvai was always talking to Vinayagar in her life. Although she was aged physically, she was always a child at heart. She treated Vinayagar as a friend of her own age. Children should really learn this form of devotion. Avvai Party was a Shaivite poet, no doubt, but her involvement in Ganapatya devotion is definitely noteworthy. Do you know something amazing? Usually there are accounts of saints speaking with the Lord, but in Avvai's case, it is known that the interactions between Avvai and Vinayagar were mutual, meaning Vinayagar spoke back. Can you believe it?
That's so awesome, Pa. Tell me more.
There is a fond pact that Avvaiyar Party made with little Vinayagar. She said, I will give you 4 things. I will lovingly mix honey, milk, jaggery and pulses to eat. But you only need to give me 3 things in return. Vinayagar's eyes are said to have become big with eagerness at the delicious treat. Granddad used to tell me that Ganesha first agrees and then only later asks for what she wanted. Avvai Party is said to have immediately asked for the 3 main components of traditional Tamil art and culture, referred to as the Sangat Tamil Moondru, Iyal, Isai and Nadagam, is a phrase that refers to the 3. Iyal refers to literature, Isai refers to music, and Nadagam refers to drama. These 3 forms of art are considered to be integral parts of the Tamil culture. By asking for these 3, Avvai Party asks for the highest knowledge from Vinayagar. Even today, when children start their prayers or when initiated into education, this is one of the first hymns taught to children in Tamil Nadu. Palum,
Palum,
Telithenum,
Telithenum,
Pagum,
Pagum,
Paruppum,
Paruppum,
Ivai Nalum,
Ivai Nalum,
Kalandunakku,
Kalandunakku,
Nan Taruven,
Nan Taruven,
Kolam Sei,
Kolam Sai,
Tungakkari,
Tungakkari,
Mugattu Thoomaniye,
Mugattu Thoomaniye,
Nee Enakku,
Nee Enakku,
Sangat Tamil Moondrum Tha.
Sangat Tamil Moondrum Tha. Oh my God, that's such an intelligent ask, Pa.
Yes. Now remember this unique ask. We are going to come back to this. Avvai Party lived her life thinking that she had one-upped Vinayagar until the last day of her life. Lord Vinayagar, on the other hand, as Avvai learned, is super sharp with numbers and keeps perfect account of everything.
Really? What happened?
The story happens in a place called Tirukovalur. There is a set of 8 temples in South India called as the Ashtavirata Kshetras or Attavirattanam temples. These are special temples dedicated to Lord Shiva. The one we are talking about is the second Virattam. We will talk about the other Virattams also very soon. Back to our Avvaiyar story, Avvai Party is said to have been doing her Vinayagar Pujai at this very temple. At that exact time, the great Shaivite saints Sundarar and Cheraman Perumal are said to have attained oneness with Shiva and were proceeding to Kailasha. Due to Lord Shiva's divine grace, Sundarar is said to have received a white elephant with 4 tusks for his travel to Kailasam, and the great Chairman Perumal was on a white horse. They passed over at Tirukkovalur and they see Avvai Party doing her puja. They ask her, Avvai Party, we are leaving to Kailasam. Come with us. Avvai Party replied dutifully, I am so happy for your progress. You gentlemen, please proceed. But as I have already started my puja to Vinayagar, even your divine company and this trip to the great Kailasam itself has to wait. So Sundarar and Cheraman bade her farewell and leave her behind. Although she had made the right choice of giving her duties the highest importance, she quickly rushes through her usual prayers and hymns to Vinayagar. Her desire to reach Kailasam was still bubbling inside her mind. Grandad used to say that Lord Vinayagar immediately appears before her and tells with twinkling eyes, Party, the best part of your puja to me is how you are slow and sure about every line and how much each verse is dipped in devotion. Today the chantings are a tad faster. Are you in some hurry to go somewhere? Avvayaar Party is said to have regained her awareness and completed her puja with her usual devotion and single-mindedness. She offers the Naivedyam to the Lord. Vinayagar's test, however, is not yet done. He patiently enjoys every morsel and slurps the food with extreme slowness. But Avvayaar Party's awareness is fully blossomed at this stage, and she can see and think of nothing else but the involvement of the Lord Vinayagar with his food. Pleased with her resolve, Vinayagar asks, Tell me the truth. You wanted to go with those 2 saints to Kailasam, isn't it? It's not a big deal. I will take you there myself. But first, you must do something for me. Avvai Party's eyes fill up with tears. He who rules the 3 worlds is asking something of me. What is the use of this human birth if not to hear these words? I have no need for Kailasam. Being here with you itself is Kailasam. Please tell me what this mere mortal should do. Sounds familiar? If you are at school, then being there totally is verily Kailasam.
Yes, I get it. Now go on.
Lord Vinayagar's eyes were a study in naughtiness. He said, I want to hear your loving verses, my dear Party. Remember, long back you gave me 4 things and asked of me only 3 things. But now I am going to give you 4. Taking you to Kailasam is the 4th thing I am going to do for you.
Oh, that Palum Telithenum point.
Correct. Lord Vinayagar is said to have asked Avvai Party to compose the grand Vinayagar Agaval. Avvai Party falls again on the Lord's divine feet, and as she stands back up, an esoteric hymn flows from her heart. It starts with the description of Vinayagar's beautiful feet adorned with anklets which make the most beautiful of music. The hymns go on to describe profound ways to meditate using the attention to the feet. And as Avvai completes her composition, she is said to have attained oneness with the creation by Lord Vinayagar's divine grace.
சீத களப செந்தாமரை பூவும் பாதச்சிலம்பு பல இசை பாட பொன்னரை ஞானமும் பூந்துகில் ஆணையும் வண்ணமருங்கில் வளந்தழ எரிப்ப.
There are so many secret meditation methods in the Agaval.
Ooh, secrets. What is it? Tell.
You know, the Kashmira Shaiva Siddhanta has a book written in the 10th century that records a legendary conversation between Shiva and Parvati called as the Vijnana Bhairava, where Shiva speaks about hundreds of ways to meditate and tells it to Parvati. It speaks about a method of raising the energy in the human system by using attention to our feet. Avvai Party's Agaval speaks about the same method almost 2 centuries earlier.
What are those lines, Pa?
இடைப்பிங்கலையின் எழுத்தறிவித்து கடையிற் சுழமுனை கபாலமும் காட்டி 3 மண்டலத்தின் முட்டிய தூணின் 4 பாம்பின் நாவில் உணர்த்திக் குண்டலி அதனிற் கூடிய அசபை விண்டெழு மந்திரம் வெளிப்பட உரைத்து மூலாதாரத்தின் 3 கணலை காலால் எழுப்பும் கருத்தறிவித்தே. The last line is the most important one.
காலால் எழுப்பும் கருத்து.
The method of raising the energy by using attention to the feet.
What a wonderful story, Pa. Did she reach Kailasam after that?
Yes, Granddad used to tell me that Vinayagar hugs Avvai Party with so much love after the Agaval. His form increases to the sky and beyond. He extends his large trunk and releases Avvai party inside Kailasam. It is said that Sundarar was at the entrance to Kailasam at that very moment, but Avvai reaches inside Kailasam ahead of both Sundarar and Cheraman. Both of them were flabbergasted as to how such an old lady who can barely walk with the help of a stick pipped them at the post. Avvai party is said to have given the most epic response to King Cheraman Perumal. With the grace of the Queen of Madurai Meenakshi's little child's lotus feet, which is basically Vinayagar, the elephant, the chariot, the horse as well as the old lady have all reached at the same time. Madura Modinal Umayal Siruvan Malaradiai Mudira Ninaya Vallar Karido Mugil Murangi Adira Varihinra Yanayum Therum Adanpin Sendra Kudirayum Kadam Kidaviyum Kadam Kulamannane.
Appa, did Avvai party ever tell why children must love Vinayagar?
Yes, only human beings have the power of speech, and Avvaiyar says that it is Vinayagar who gives humans this capability to express intelligence through words. There is an instinct in animals. All animals follow this instinct, but they lack discrimination. Only humans can discern and have the freedom to take the right decision. So, along with the right speech, what makes an individual really noble is the capability to differentiate between good and bad. This is another important quality. These two qualities constitute right knowledge. In Indian tradition, right knowledge is considered as Narayana. It is also considered that where knowledge is there, then good fortune in the form of Lakshmi is always sure to follow. When good fortune follows with knowledge, good health will remain as well. In Kannada, there is a Subhashita that says that it is a great good fortune to be healthy. Arogyave Bhagya. So, Avvaiyar party's greatest message to the small children is that we should always think about the lotus feet of Vinayagar. Children love colors, so Avvai party says the Lord's feet are a pleasing bright red color themselves. They are rendered more red due to the flowers around them offered by the children who meditate unfailingly on Vinayagar's lovely feet. As an immediate effect, these children receive the gifts of a perfect speech, an alert and discerning mind, good health, and the gracious favor of she who sits on the large flower, meaning Goddess Lakshmi, who is the goddess of the 8 wealths. The shloka goes like this: Vakundam, Nalla Manamundam, Ma Malaral Nokundam, Meni Nudangad, Pukundu Tuppar Tirumeni, Tumbikkayan Padam, Tappamal Sarvar Tamakku.
Appa, why are the Veeratta Kshetram places important?
Usually, Shiva temples have Shiva in the seated form or in the latent lingam form. The Veeratta Kshetrams are those temples where the Lord is said to have appeared and granted awareness to various people by reminding and chastising their lapses in awareness. Sometimes it has been Asuras, sometimes it has been Devas, and sometimes it has even been Brahma himself. Here are the list of places where these wonderful temples are present: Tirukandiyur, Tirukovilur, Tiruvadigai, Kide Parasalur, Tiruvirkudi, Tiruvazhuvur, Tirukkurukkai, and Tirukkadayur. For example, Tirukkovilur is the place where Andhakasuran was vanquished by Shiva. That is the temple we are talking about today.
So, the entire story is about how Avvai took a shortcut to Kailasham thanks to Vinayagar, isn't it?
Illappa, there is so much more. As a part of composing the Vinayagar Agaval, Avvai is said to have experienced a very high form of stillness in her mind. Avvai Party says that feeling such stillness is verily reaching Kailasam. This is the core symbolism this story teaches, that when one puts one's devotion above everything else, the highest is attained. Many vie for this goal. The goal is the same, but the paths may vary, and there is no room for comparison with anyone else. As such, everyone has their own destiny.
Appa, how did Cheraman and Sundarar each get an elephant and a horse to Kailasham?
Aren't you having some homework to complete? If I allow it, you will keep asking for more and more stories throughout the night.
Appa!
First homework. And then later, you can hear it on
Ancient Anecdotes.
On your favorite podcast streaming providers.
Tune in every week for a brand new episode.